Hey, how's it going? What's your name and what'd you play?
Wayne Decker playing Cosmo.
Oh, what place you get?
Well, technically I got second, but I was undefeated for 2 weeks in a row, so I still haven't lost. I drew the first week, and then that will cause me to be in a lower position, and then I got undefeated this week again, but still got second according to pairings. So.
Okay, well let's see the deck profile.
Cool. So a lot of stuff's just like standard. 10 cans for your searching and end phases, 2 straw man, bringing back your destroyers. I don't know if a lot of people know what these cards do, but your 10 cans allow you to reveal 3 Cosmo cards during the end phase by paying 500, and then your opponent randomly picks one. So then you get one of them added to your hand, the rest go to the graveyard. You got straw man. Straw man's effect is he can target a Cosmo monster that has been banished and bring him back by paying 500 life points, and then he comes back but his effects are negated and he dies during the end phase. Double Farm Girl, this is also another searcher. If she does any kind of damage, battle damage, you can pay 500 and search any Cosmo card out and add it to your hand. Sword Trooper brings back any of your psychic type monsters, so just the pilots, so you pay 1,000 life points and bring them back from the graveyard. Their effects won't be negated, so they'll have their effects. Something like this Dark Lady, you can bring her back. She's a pilot, but she's 5-star. But you bring her back, she's a monster in the gate. You'll pay 1,000 life points once per turn, and she can negate any monster effect. Hand, field, grave, it doesn't matter. And then,
did you have anybody try to imperm your pilots?
Yeah. The second effect of all the pilots is when they're on the field, they can tag out for a higher level. So if you're trying to tag out your farm lady, you can banish her and special summon another, and the cost is to banish. So if they imperm, you just tag out, and then they just wasted their imperm or whatnot. So that's really fun. A lot of people don't remember the deck or hadn't encountered the deck, so they're just like relearning it all again. So it's like really super fun. Triple Slip Rider, really good at popping stuff, especially like if you brick. Like you're going to be popping, like a lot of times you're going to be popping your own Cosmo Town, just where you pop off a lot. A lot of times like you'll have Cosmo Town or open double Cosmo Town, which is really and you can just pop your Cosmo Town and then like add another Cosmo Town and get more stuff back. Use the effects again because it's not and only once per turn. So, but anyway, or search anything else. I'll show you Town in a minute. Next up is Forerunner. Now this is a bigger machine and one can't be targeted. He also gains 1,000 life points during your standby. And all these machines, like when they blow up, they go to the graveyard and they banish themselves. So if they're destroyed by battle or card effect, they go to the graveyard and then they banish themselves and they summon something smaller. So your Forerunner dies. It can bring back Slip Rider, all your pilots, whatever's a lower level than itself. And then the Big Kahuna is Dark Destroyer. Big Kahuna, Dank Destroyer, Cosmo Dark Destroyer. This is the one that everybody's calling names, So he's the big one. You can banish a pilot, drop him down. He can't be targeted. He can pop any monster on the field, including himself. So you can pop himself and then drop down to anything you want. So it really allows for combos like popping itself and going into Farm Girl and punching in and doing damage and getting a search for the Farm Girl, or maybe just popping itself and bringing back Tin Can and getting the search for Tin Can. There's a lot of different things you can do. One of the combos is popping himself and bringing out Straw Man, and then using Straw Man to bring back Dark Destroyer, and then Dark Destroyer dies, and then Tin Can comes out, and then that way you have 2 pilots and a search at the end of the turn. One of the biggest things with this deck is you want to have multiple pilots out on the board, and that's a combo to help do so. One Eclipser, it's another 3K beater. It can negate traps by banishing Cosmo monsters from the graveyard.
It's not once per turn?
And it's not once per turn. So you can do it over and over and over and negate all their traps. It can't be targeted. The only downside though is when he dies, instead of banishing from the deck to the field, he actually adds. So, it's not as good because, even though you can search the Dark Destroyer, you're adding it to your hand and not the field, which is really where you need it. I was running 2 of him, and then I decided to swap one out for a forerunner, so I run 2 forerunners instead. It just seemed like that was more preferable because you can just always search the eclipsers, and a lot of times I wanted to get another forerunner, so I went ahead and just ran the second forerunner. And that's all the Cosmo cards. For hand traps, I ran 3 ash, 2 DD crows. The DD crows I ran allures as well, so that could help with that. Of course, you know that's going to be tier as well. Stop that. Triple Cosmotowns. I was running triple Cosmotowns and terraforming, and then realized that was just way too much. And I'm actually considering maybe dropping a Cosmotown out and then like just running terraforming instead. I think I'll do that. I'll test that out because that way I can terraforming. Like if I already have a Cosmotown and terraforming, I could terraforming and hope bait out an ash or something. Versus have it drawing 2 towns is just trying to, and then you're at that point trying to pop your own stuff. So
yeah.
I didn't explain what he does. So when you activate it, or while it's on the field, you can pay life points according to the level of a banished monster, Cosmo monster, and then you can add it back to your hand, and you'll take damage according to that level times 100. So if you were going to bring back Dart Destroyer, which is level 8, you take 800, and you get to add it back to your hand. If it would be destroyed while face up on the field and sent to the graveyard, you can add any Cosmo card back to itself, or back to your hand. So you can pop itself and then add another Cosmo Town back if you wanted to. That was really funny back in the day when people would pop your Cosmo Town and then you would just get another town back and then replay the effect. So so that's super good. And then another effect that's actually overlooked and very useful is it also has a mulligan. So like you can reveal Cosmo monsters in your hand, and then shuffle them back in, and then draw that many equal amount. So a lot of times this fixes your dead hands too. So, and then double E-Telly should be 3. I think one of them blew off at the park, but I got another copy, and I thought I was running 3, but apparently I was running 41, and then I guess one blew off, and and I did not notice it. So. But yeah, this is also super good. One of the things that Cosmos has problems with is keeping pilots, get multiple pilots on the board. And like if you go to battle phase and then like you're popping their monsters with Dart Destroyer and you're like punching over their stuff, you can easily put an E-Telly during the battle phase and then drop a Farm Girl and swing and do more damage. And a lot of times, like, people are playing like Effect Failure, for example. If you drop the Farm Girl in the battle, or you drop this during the battle phase, and you drop out the Farm Girl to punch for damage, and it's already the battle phase, so they can't imperm your Farm Girl. So they can still, well, Snow's man now, but double Raigeki, board clears. That likes to go second, likes to punch, likes to do damage. I want to run 3 of these if I can find room to run 3. This is just coming clutch so much, just blowing up somebody's board and they not being able to recover from it. When I was playing against Tier Sprite, they made a board and they couldn't, because of the new list and everything, they couldn't make like the frog negate. So Raigeki their board away and they didn't have anything to recover from that, and I just kind of went off on them, and that was that. Double allure, just for some draw power. Thing about allure is like you can allure and get you a Cosmo monster, and so you say you have like Dark Lady or Dark Destroyer, right? And then you play allure, and you banish like one of your dark monsters, your Eclipse or whatever, and then you have to play Cosmo Town, and then you can just add your dark monster back to your hand, so you lose nothing.
Oh, that's broken.
Yeah, it's pretty busted. And then of course, I added these with the DD Crow, so that way, if at all I could, have more targets.
DD Crows are really good right now.
Yeah. So, extra draw power. One for one, get your tin can. Just another way to put another body on the board. Reasoning, which really wish it was at 3, but it's not. We only allowed to run 1, so I can still run hand traps. It doesn't come up that much because you generally just don't draw reasoning, but it's really fun because like even if they know what you're playing, they don't know what level to call, because you have so many different levels.
Different levels.
Yeah. Triple Mojo. man, this card is just so fun. Like so many times you can just swing with Farm Girl, and you can have a Dark Destroyer in hand or whatever, any kind of machine, and
I remember
you search out the mojo, and then you set this, and then like you could have like a Dark Lady, or like let's say you have a Dark Lady on the field and like a Dark Destroyer, so you have a monster negate, and then you have the Dark Destroyer that you can drop and pop a monster. So you have the Farm Lady on the field, and then you have well, whoops, there we are. We have the Dark Destroyer in hand, so we can negate a monster effect with that, and then we can drop this down and pop something, and then we can activate that and target himself, and then they have to respond at that point. So you target himself, and then once they let that go, because you don't have to target, and then you can just banish anything from the field or graveyard. So, and then, you know, if you do that, then he goes down into whatever you want. So you can combo back down into another Dark Lady. You can combo back down into a tin can, whatever you would need. So even into a Forerunner or whatever, you know. So, and last but not least, skill drain.
So we got big monsters.
You know, a lot of people run it, you know, might be running 3 of this, but like, I would always open this, like so freaking much. I would open skill drain. It's just ridiculous. So, but I didn't have any other copies to test, so I just ran 1. So,
Okay.
that's that for the main. And for the side, standard Infinity. You know, you just take two Slip Riders and lay over top him, and then you make Infinity. Very easy. Made these 2 here. I didn't make him at all. Made him once or twice with Tin Can. So I would make like the Straw Man, and then bring back the Tin Can, and then like and then have like another Tin Can, and then like you could lay over the top of him. Even though like the one would die during the end phase, even though he has no effect, you can just bring him back and use him for a link. Also, you know, I've linked off, like brought back the Tin Can and linked off for a link Kribo. So, but big thing is, you know, you swing for damage and then you overlay for the Zeus package. Like I said, I didn't make this. I made this once or twice. It's really good, obviously, Zeus. Back row disruption, just 2 Farm Girls, or you know, 2 Sword Troopers. Yeah, so you make that. And Castellar Plagueis, you can make him too. I didn't make him, just like I didn't make Infinity. It just didn't really come up to where I needed, like, or could put out the 2 Slip Riders. Like there was always like just a better way to go about it instead of bringing out the Infinity package. So standard, you know, Nightmare package.
You don't really ever use the extra deck really much, do you?
No, not really. Didn't use this, but this sounded really good. Like all the popping effects that you could do with that. More back row pops. Didn't use that either. And then one of her didn't use that either. Takes a lot to get 4 on the board, and you really don't want to kind of waste it. Like if you're making her, like you're really far ahead in the game, so it wouldn't matter anyway. So. And sideboard, you're gonna love this stuff. Maybe not. But this is what I had to play. Cosmo Cyclone for the Mystic Mind. That's not ever gonna be banned apparently.
I guess not.
So
I'm gonna start maining the carcass. They're not getting rid of
I wasn't sure about running this. It was out of this or a Dark Ruler No More, and I ran this, and it probably like I feel like instead of Dark Ruler No More, because if you play the Dark Ruler No More, you can't do damage to your opponent. So like then you can't. So your Farm Girl's off. You can't search. So if you can't search, you can't use the Farm Girl effect. You can't. It's harder to OTK. So and there was a lot of times like I would pull off to where I get double searches with Farm Girls and get 2 searches in one turn off the Farm Girl itself. And so like, but if you drop the spear mode, you could still Raigeki the spear mode and get rid of the spear mode, even though you can't attack it. You can still Raigeki it or something like that away, and then go in for OTK if you wanted to. But that's what I was trying to test this out, was just, you know, tributing their stuff. You know, they can't respond to it, and you just tribute off 3 good cards instead of, you know, using the Dark Ruler No More and not being able to do anything. So next, Dimensional Barrier. You know what that's for. Tier, whatever. I ran 3 Royal Decrees for back row. I I wasn't gonna play the what's that one counter trap card that's banned now. I wasn't gonna play it.
Oh, right, reboot.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, once it was announced that it was getting banned, I wasn't gonna play it, so I was just gonna test these out. We got a guy that's playing Labyrinth up there, and I really didn't like all the traps. So I just like was gonna run these 3 in just in case, and just didn't pair up against him like last time. He's the only person I drawed against. And then last but not least.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gross. Gross. Gross.
Yes.
So tell him why I don't like this card.
So me and Brandon played in the finals at an event, and I was playing Dragon Links, and they go into time all the time. Kind of same like tiers, you know, they go into time all the time. So we get to the final match we're playing, and like he got the first one, I got the second one, and then it's timing in the third, and I sided these in, and he's like, well, you know, it was like main phase or whatever. He goes, well, I guess it was a draw, and I was like, no. And I was like, I pitched this, and this automatically burns you for 1,000, and then you win. Like, and I won the tournament because all I did was just pitch this, and I won 1,000, you know, 1,000 damage. I win. And the reason why I like ran this was like going into time with tier or whatever. This happened last time. If you normal the tin can, you had to pay 500 life points. Everything that you do, you had to pay life points. So like you pay like, you know, there was an instance where like I had to pay 500 life points, or I couldn't play, I couldn't win. Like I couldn't do anything, I couldn't add on. I had to have a monster to tag out to hold the guy to win. So like if you pay the 500, the guy thinks he's gonna win or whatever, and he don't even go into battle phase or whatever, and then you could just pitch that, and then he loses, and he's like, oh, I didn't know, I was ahead. Yeah, you were ahead, but you know, but that's right here. It does get you wins.
So it did get
funny.
you any wins?
No, unfortunately, I killed everybody.
So I was the only person I ever worked against?
I mean, technically it would have worked the first tournament when I played against the tier, and they took like 30 minutes on the first duel. So like, yeah, and I won with 200 life points left, and then the second duel, the tin can came down, like I said, and I paid the 500 to get something, and then there was like 4 minutes left in the game, and he was just taking forever, and then I was kind of rushing him along, and he like I said, he's playing tier, and I was like, come on, you know, and because it's like, dude, you know your deck, come on, dude, you took 30 minutes on the first game, and now, you know, this deck really moves really fast, and he's just taking forever, and then he got frustrated with me. He goes, dude, you got it anyway, you got the first game, it's a draw now, and he just got scooped his stuff up, and I'm like, paid 500 for 10 can, so like it would have been a draw, but he just scooped his stuff up and got beat off at me.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, if I would have had that would have been a certain win. But you know, I was thinking about the tier taking 30 minutes to duel or whatnot, and then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play those in for, you know, because I didn't really know what else I wanted to side in for. But I played everything in the meta that I can think of. Branded adventure engines. Like the first one was a branded adventure. I played regular branded. I played regular sprites. Played regular tier sprites. I think I played against Dragon Links and some other rogue stuff. But I mean, through all the tournaments, you know. But the thing with this deck is, you know, dropping the Dart Destroyer or any of the machines, and then they can't target them, you know. And then like, or you dropping a Slip Rider and popping your Cosmo town, and then they're like, oh, he's only 800 defense, I'm just gonna run over him, and that being the last monster, and then you can, you know, float into a tin can or something like that, and then get free searches. So.
All right, cool. Any changes you would have made?
Oh yeah, I think I would have like I said, I would have probably took out a Cosmo town and run a terraforming. I gotta find a spot to run an E-Telly, another E-Telly to keep from bricking. I wanted to drop a Sword Trooper out and only run one, and then I was going to run Monsterborn instead, but then like there was consistency issues. Sword Trooper's not a brick, it'll let you go into a machine, versus Monsterborn, you need something in the graveyard for that to work. So like I've never been a big fan of Slip Rider, especially running him at 3, but like if you run 3, you can get into Affinity a lot better, but like it generally just doesn't come up as much. So, and it does take double slip rider to get it into the Infinity package. So, I mean, everything else is like, I don't think I would have changed anything else. I don't know about skill drain. Like maybe like if I could get like 3 of them and put them on the side, but skill drain, you know, works really well with this deck because you can banish your pilot and you get the effect off because it's no longer in the field. And then like when your machines die and go to the graveyard, then they banish themselves and get their effects. The only thing that you don't get is like the destroyer effect. You don't get the farm girl effect surge. You don't get your tin can surges. So that does hurt you a little bit too, or a lot of it, but not as much as the opponent that would be more, you know, reliant on the field. So, but yeah, I think that's pretty much. I don't think I would change anything else.
You got any shout outs?
Oh, and shout out to my boy Brandon for being awesome, and for Shola, who he played me in the very first round. He got paired against me, and he's the only person that won 1 game against me. Nobody else won. I've 2-0'd everybody I played, so yeah. So he was the only person that got 1 game against me.
Oh, cool.
So even though he didn't win any matches, but he did a lot better than what he usually does.
Yeah.